But we also caught 2 salmon on the rattle trouts. And we fished rattle trouts most of the time. There's a lot of very good long trolls. We never made it into Deverton this year. We usually go in there, fished a place called Pepper Slough. We caught a couple, we had one good day in there. We found the fish at one place every time through they'd hit. And I lost a big one. I also lost a prop. I hit something on the bottom and got a chip out of my prop, but well, that's fishing. And that was very good. And another place that works good on this is in the fall, usually October. I like to use the rattle traps in Broad Slough. There's a shallow troll there, right out of a place called Cabin Slough. And if people want to know where this is, it's usually pretty good in October through there. I have a bunch of maps I picked up yesterday at the ISE show, so I can mark, if somebody wants to see where we're fishing there. On the San Joaquin, the Antioch Bridge, there's another good rattle trap troll. And I usually run these, I run almost always 1 ounce. No matter what the tide is, I'm going to run them 100 feet behind the boat. I used to try to do everything according to what the tide was doing up, down, all that, but I just strictly with 100 feet, and it works. And we don't find the crawdads so much there. We use silver blue, and I will use that shallow running angry eye quite a bit in there. Another hot lure for me this year has been this one. I caught my biggest fish this year. I was with Bill. Back to 18 pounds again. This is the Predator. And I will troll. Everybody likes Montezuma, the deeper water. I like it shallow. This was come to a place called the Cow Hole, only it was on the shallow lure, 18 pounder. And that was I was running the boat all day and fishing, take a break and eat lunch. I'll put my rod out, no sooner hit the water. I got one about 12 pounds and the next one 18, all shallow. And when it drops out, you have more areas to troll. There's a grass line below the glass house in Montezuma. I like to troll that. It's a big, long troll, and I don't cut my trolls short, Ron. Do the whole thing. Whether I'm seeing fish or not, I am going to do the whole troll. And it pays off. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes no. But I do like to troll it on a shallow.
Clyde, what about Clyde shoals? Do you run the rattle traps there too?
No, I knew you'd bring that up. That is where I caught my 32 or 42 pounder 36 in one day. And I've caught a lot of fish in there, and I have some pictures. Now I started to catch more 30 pounders now. Looking up all my notes and thinking about it, I thought, what am I going to talk about here? I find out that I have caught every one of my fish over 30 pounds, or right at 30, all shallow, except one. I caught one 35 pounder, my biggest in Montezuma. That was a Don King, and that was on a very ugly lure. They used to call the perch or something an ugly color. The reason I even put it on, I had a friend along, and he wanted to know what lure to use, and I'd never caught anything of that. I said, give that a try. He caught 7 or 8 fish, and I had to have a bite, so I put one on. That's when I caught that 35 pounds. Pays to try a little bit of it. Yes, sir.
What do you call shallow?
I'll fish anywhere from 4 feet up to about 9 feet.
4 to 9 feet.
When I go into the 4 feet, I'm using the smaller rattle traps. Another little trick I use, and I haven't used it for quite a few years because we're getting so much grass. I will use a spreader with 2 lures on it, one Usuri, and one smaller rattle trap. I have, and many times I have taken 2 fish on that. My memory of fishing is pretty good. I don't remember my kids' birthdays or anything. Maybe Bill will remember this.
Do you put a tail on that rattle trap?
No.
Rattle trap, you run
Some
a tail?
people do. No, I do not put a tail on that. Mike says I'll catch more fish if I put a tail on it. He gave me a bunch of tails. I think I used them once. I couldn't catch any fish. I took it off and started catching fish. All depends. I think the Lord, a lot of it, these strippers gonna eat about anything. Most of it, what do you have faith in? Are you working it the right way? I watch my speed awful close, and I do like to fish with somebody because if I'm looking all around everything, I'm not watching my depth. I wanna put that depth finder right where I can find it, and I'm not gonna get off that line. I'll hear the reels go, or somebody telling the fish on. And I'll look back once in a while to make sure the lures are working right. That's it, you know. You take your eyes off of that, you're gonna get off the line of fishing. Or fog. Fog is hard, for me, I get lost in it. It's hard to fish. And I have a friend here that said he could fish. He got on me one time, we're catching some fish, shallow trolling, but I get away from the bank, and he told me, you know, we play a fish. He said, you're in 20 feet of water. What? Get back in there. So I said, okay, after a while, I got tired of him telling me. I said, take the boat. First thing I know, he's out there at 20 feet of water, or better, looking for the bank, right?
Guilty.
I found you on. But we had a good time fishing, and all the places I've fished, I've been very fortunate to be able to travel Alaska. I love Alaska. I like the Delta. I like it better than going to the ocean. I just feel good, whether I catch fish or not. I got skunked on with our good friend Mark there. We got skunked on Tuesday, but the water is pretty dirty right now. We tried to fish inside of Sherman. We caught 2 little fish. Before all the storms come up, we did fish sardines. About a week or so, we did catch 3 fish. Chester got 2 nice fish. Not real big, but 8 pounds, probably the biggest. That's nice fish right now in the winter. If you could catch 4 or 5 fish, you've got a good day this time of the year, I think. And yes, sir.
Clyde, how fast are you trolling? Shallow?
Whatever my rod trip's telling me. And you don't need to change much when you're fishing the rattle traps. You're getting a real tight wiggle. And the reason we put these worms on, all this does is tighten our pattern. We're not fishing black bass where we don't know all this. I've had a lot of people, here, try these different tails. They're split. I'll make that lure go like this. Now, some very basic things is the worm tail. It's a little different on these. And with the angry eye or the predators, stretch this out, the worm goes to the bottom. If you're fishing the Azuris, that inline, I guess it's the way it's set here. You pull this out, it'll be the top one, your inline. And I do not, here's something else I don't do. I do not bite my worms to make them fit better. I run it up on there. What that does, and a friend of mine, a guide, used to bite those worms. I was driving up the wall, he caught fish. What that'll do, you get that flat bite. Not all the time it won't work, but you watch your lure, you're getting a lot of fish. Because of the water going across that lure is pulling that sideways, you know, it hits that worm. String it on there, you know, it has a slot, just put it on there as tight as you can without, you don't need that to hold it on. It'll stay, so a fish gets it off once in a while. We used to fish these stretchy worms. Those things would stretch out and look at fish that far. And then you had to reel in to get it off, or wrap up on your line. Mostly when you get that hit on the tails, give it out a couple times, And I use G. Loomis. All my rods for trolling are like 10 to 17, right in that area. There's a few lighter ones, 8 to 17. My two rods that I use right now is a G. Loomis, 10 to 17, and a Shimano, 10 to 17. Just
Let me hold the mic for you.
wrong rod there. Wrong rod. This rod, pretty light rod, and I'll see every movement. I like this, every little piece of grass, I can see it on this rod. And I think 10 to 17, our friend Chester, I've had a couple custom rods made a lot lighter than this. I think they're probably 8 to 17 or 8 to 15. He uses that. He does very well. You can see the grass, the movement. Get a little bit heavier on these rods, the way they used to when people first started trolling. The ones I'd see, they were trolling heavier rods because they were using different lures. One, this big split tail, I forget what you call them, the heavier lures, the weights, and pork rind. Pork rind was the thing they trolled. Before I got into a lot of these worms, I was using surveyor's tape for my tails. It was cheap. They had 3 colors, white, red, and yellow. And I would use those, but when the worms come out, it wasn't my idea on the worms. I don't know, the guys trolling deep are starting to use the worms. And I was the only one doing the shallow. Now everybody does it, and everybody does it. Yes, sir.
How far out when you're doing the shallows is your line?
When I'm with these, about 100 feet.
100 feet.
Yeah. With Usuris, a little more. Yes, sir, Mark.
I understand you used to buy Bang by the case per month.
Well, yeah, till I got it on your glasses and you started yelling at me.
Do you use scent at all?
I don't use that. Not anymore. I used to. You know, we always thought different things then. That's why you guys all got better and I stayed the same. That whole table catches more fish than I catch anymore. Mine is mostly endurance. I'm 92. I've overdone it a couple of times. 1 o'clock, 1:30, no matter what. I don't need to catch 100 fish anymore. When I used to fish, I know one time with Mark, we were out there at daylight and we're catching fish all day long. We launched a steamboat. We're coming back in, probably 4 or 5 o'clock. I said, Mark, look at my fish finder. It's full of fish. Well, let's give it a try. I said, Mark, we got enough fish. Let's go in. I'll give it a try. Okay, we're going home at dark. We caught fish. Mark's sleeping, I'm driving it over there with his mouth wide open, snoring. So I yelled fish on. I jumped up looking for a rod in my car. And he'll probably want to tell something on me, but I'm going to check this off before he gets a chance to tell that. But we do have fun. Fishing is fun. I don't relax when I'm fishing. I have a nice Archie Bunker chair at home to relax in. Now we're going to my next favorite, which is happening real quick now, this time of the year. The next thing I like to do, I love drifting mudsuckers or minnows. Mudsuckers are expensive right now. They're a good mudsucker, the bigger ones, are $6 a copy. But with mud suckers, you don't need a lot. I can go out and check about four mud suckers. That'll last us because the stripers will take mud suckers dead. You work it a little bit, we never throw them back, and when you catch a fish,
You got it.
Fish on. Out.
long ways from the heart, it'll be okay. When you're fishing these, this is basically the same as when you're fishing halibut down the bay, except I go a lot lighter. My break-offs are very light. I only use 6 pounds on that. My line is 17. I use the live bait knot, the loop, and my hooks are called mosquito hooks. Very light. I want that bait to be able to swim around. And do not set the hook when you get these bites. I troll this, I only use about 1 ounce of weight. As close to the boat, straight down as I can get. This is a very light rod. When you get a bite on it, it'll really load up. Right here is what I'm saying. And that'll sit there. Sometimes you'll get a little bite like this. Very seldom do you have to give it, feed any line or anything. It'll just take it straight down. Don't set the hook. You just start reeling. You got it. And as simple as that. Very light. I like to do what they call a power drift. 0.8 miles an hour. I like to go with the current or the tide. I don't have to touch that electric motor just to keep it in line is all. Control with that, very slow, and do not set the hook. I was out with helping Netzel, James Netzel, one day. We had this guy out, a friend of ours, and he could not resist setting the hooks, and he had the hot rod. His rod was going down, he would set the hooks, no fish. Kept telling him, do not set the hook, let it load up, don't set it. He said, well, I've been setting the hook for 40 years. I said, did you ever catch any fish doing this? I said, set on your hands. And he actually sat on his hands, and he started catching fish. Every time he tried to set that hook, that fish would be gone. Let it load up, get that little bite, it'll take it down. Most of the time, for a legal fish, it don't take long. Just a couple little nibbles and it's going straight down. Yes?
Going back to your lures, do you do a direct tie or a snap
No.
swivel?
I do a swivel. I use what they call my band. I tie all my leaders ahead of time. I have arthritis in both hands, so I'm not going to tie it up there. You know, I have a big roll of leaders, and I just use a barrel swivel on my main line. I use 30-pound Power Pro on everything. I put a barrel swivel and I put a bead because of two things. The beads will keep some of the weeds off, you know, when you're trolling grass. The main thing I think is that bead. I take people out and I got some pretty good rods. They'll try to reel that fish through the eyes of the line. That bead will stop that. You know, they get excited and start reeling real fast, and that bead will come up there and hit the end, and so far it hasn't broke any guides off. But that's why, and my leaders, I have some guys that are really particular about an exact length of leader. I tie a long leader up when I'm trolling, a long leader. If I break it off a couple times, I still have leader tie on, away we go. But I have one friend that thinks they won't tangle if you tie it a certain length. Well, I'm going to take the time when I'm tying those. I like to make things simple. And fishing can be hard work, or it can be very easy. And, like I said, I'm out there to catch fish. I can relax when I go home. You're not relaxed if you're fishing and catching fish. You're watching everything. You're watching your depth. You're watching for weeds. Even bait fishing. You're cutting bait, you're doing something, you're chumming, throwing chum out there. And I haven't chummed for a while. I think I did a salmon fishing a couple of years ago. It got pretty rough. And when I was a kid, two boats I used to go on with my dad. One was called the Black Gold, one was called the Top Johnson. We went in that Black Gold. We caught a lot of fish. We should have caught more because I sure done a lot of chumming on that boat. But the first time I went, I think the first fish I caught was 12 pounds out there. And anyway, I done a lot of chumming. I should have caught more.
Clyde, so I think the question was, what are you attaching to the lure? Are you using a dual lock?
Oh, I thought you meant the lock. Yes, I do use a dual lock, and very easy. I think it's size 52. But you just want it, if you tie directly, you won't get the swing, I don't think, on your lure. And I use, stripers are not sly on your leaders. They're not leader sly. I use 20 pound. I think with 20 pound, you're going down a little more. And besides, I bought, when Franz and Eddie's went out of business, I bought one of those great big rolls of 20 pound P-line. And I've been using that for a lot of years. I'm almost out now, so somebody gave me a bunch of that, some kind of line. That I'm having trouble tying knots with that, good knot, so I'll stick with my P-line to get a good knot.
Yeah,
Yes.
what's the weight factor that you use in regards to the current?
On which
The
one now?
weights. Do you
For
want
the-
a splitter?
right
with
here, I use a 1 ounce.
1 ounce?
Yeah.
Round or
Pardon?
barrel weight or what?
The round one, the round ball.
Yeah.
And you just want to get it down. You're not pulling against it, you're not trolling fast, right straight down the bottom. And if I change depth, I'll be calling off the depth and say, hey, reset. I usually fish when we do this with my friend Chester, and I'll tell him, I say, okay, change, but he usually feels it right away. Say I'm starting at 15, I go to 20, run a little more line down. I want it as straight down as I can get, from the boat without, dragging back. That's why I hardly have to turn that electric motor on just to keep it off the bank or off the weeds. I'll troll right along a weed line for those, and I can do this with places that I cannot troll. Trolling is my favorite way of going. This is probably second. And right now we're fishing with anchovies, sardines, and that kind of thing. The water is still pretty steady. I think I'll probably start trolling maybe toward the end of January. See what the water does. When I was working a lot and flying, if I would get the week, I would always take a week off, the week closest to 24th of March. The stripers are coming up. Another place I like to fish a lot, my favorite in the spring, and it hasn't been good for a few years, Steamboat Slough. Those fish come through there. I have a place called the Snag Hole. I've caught several 20-pounders in there. Also donated quite a few lures to that until I found out where their snags were. And then on the back, clear up and cross that cross channel at Steamboat, I'll use a rattle trap smaller in there. I'll go to the half ounce, I think it's half ounce. And I also have caught a smallmouth bass, very nice ones, in Steamboat, and a limit of stripers on the same day. That can be a lot of fun. They hit that pretty good.
Where are you launching at? More than one place.
I got 4 launch passes, or 3 launch passes, and one that I have to pay for. If I fish the San Joaquin side, a lot of times I'll launch a B&W. That's why it's like, size problem here. I'll launch a B&W. I also got a pass for Sherman. We'll be fishing that area pretty soon here. That's where our trolling starts. I have one for Brandon, and I'll buy a B&W if the fish are over there. I used to fish a lot of my colony. You know, if wind was blowing on this side, over in the Sacramento side, I'd go to the McCallamy. But now, I've tried it a couple of times, it's just getting so many weeds in there. The old places I used to fish, can't fish hardly anymore. I could probably do the minnow, or the mudsucker drift in there. But I haven't tried it, you know, I got in there a couple of times with weeds, and I'll stay outside and troll that. Right outside of Spindrift on the San Joaquin, that's a good troll. I like that. Prisoner's Point, there's still some shallow trolling there, or Old River Flats. You can have both shallow and deep. I'll troll down one side deep and come back maybe the other way shallow. Get right up on top of the bar. I really like, that was our hot place last year, our hot spring. That'll probably clear up and be clear long before the Sac side. I think I'll catch bigger fish on the Sac side than I will in there, but it'll be, if we don't get a lot more rain, it'll be the first to clear. It always is. And I'll start off fishing right across from Spindrift, big weed line or trolley line there. That's always pretty good. Old River Flats, we had good luck last year on that. There's an island out there with a bunch of trolleys. Every time we go by there, we were hooking up 2 or 3 different days in a row. It was red hot. Just wherever you find them, use that fish finder and see what you can find.
How's that hyacinth, the water hyacinth?
They're breaking some loose now. I think they've started to spray a little, but we'll have a lot of that coming down. There's high tides down, everything, but there's quite a bit. There's a lot of other junk coming down right now, you know, from the rains and everything, taking it off the banks. Yes, sir?
You follow stripers up the river, like Feather or up Sac?
I don't go up there. I have a friend that goes up there, and they're already catching them up at right outside of Discovery Park. They're catching fish, or they were right before the storm. I don't usually go up there anymore. Mark mentioned the other day when we were fishing, we used to go up the I-80 bridge and do very well this time of the year, a little later. And we were talking about maybe doing that. And there's probably fish up there. I used to go up the Feather, but I don't go up there anymore. But a lot of that, well, it's just a different troll altogether. I'm doing what I do, you know, doing very well in the Delta. And I don't fish like I used to. 1:30, 2 o'clock, I'm out of there. I'm lucky to be doing it. They tell me at my age, running my boat and everything. All my parts work good up here. Legs not so good anymore. And I get pretty tired when I fish a full day.
Gary Pendleton.
What about your favorite spot called Cat's Head?
Oh, what?
Your favorite spot called Cat's Head.
I'll let you tell about that.
Who started that one?
Go ahead, Ron.
All right, so we got all these spots. The Red Barn, 18 pillars, 15 pillars. So Clyde's on the radio and he says, Ron, I'm gonna go check Cat's Head out. And I said, where's Cat's Head? Well, I wanna know where that spot's at. He goes, I'll tell you at the end of the day. So we pulled up at the launch together, but when I run right over to him, you know, I wanna know where Cat's Head is. He goes, where's Cat's Head? He gets this shit-eating grin on his face. He goes, about 12 inches from a cat's ass.
Well, I was catching fish and I didn't really want to let Val where I was doing that day. Mark will probably wants to tell. I know, I see you back there smiling. You want to know one that got me in trouble. Go ahead.
Clyde and I are fishing, and we're catching fish, and he gets a phone call. He answers the phone is his wife. She's at the San Francisco airport, standing on the curb, holding her 2 suitcases, walking over his lap. Whoops, I forgot. We're catching fish.
Now, fishing can get you in trouble. One other one where you got me in trouble. It's the anniversary. Right before the anniversary, my wife makes reservations for this place to go for anniversary. So I said, Mark, I got to get out of here. We're not doing very good. So we're up fishing my shoals, and we're not doing very good. So I head home. I said, I got time to run through the Old Dairy one time. Man, it was full of fish. I said, Mark, I'm finding fish. Come on down here.
Whoa.
Anyway, I was late getting home. My wife is calling me. I'm not answering the phone. I thought I could make it. I was a little bit late, and that didn't work too good. I'm still married, so I must have been okay. All right, any other questions?
I know this is mainly about trolling and such. Do you ever do bullheads or split tails?
I have. I don't do split tails. I used to do bullheads. I don't know if we can get bullheads anymore. I don't see them in the bait shops.
They're available.
Yeah, I used to do it when I fished bait. I don't do a lot of bait fishing anymore. I will if it comes to, the water stays dirty. But, yes, sir.
And bringing that up, when you get crayfish,
Pardon?
crayfish.
Crawdads.
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 Crawdad?
Do you fish for those at all?
No, I don't. No.
What kind of boat you got?
I have a small boat, 17 foot smoker craft. I've had bigger boats. I had a cruiser for a while, which I had to have. I had to just buy that cruiser until I bought it. I don't like a boat where it takes me forever to get to my rod. That was just too much boat for me. So I got rid of it and I bought a Dorset. And I didn't like that because the way the canvas was back, I was doing a lot of bait fishing too. When I'd set the hook, come up there, hit that canvas. And I have probably now, boat has a lot of hours. It's only 17 foot. But when I fished alone a lot, that was the boat for me. I can handle that, and I still like it because I'm right there by my rod. I fish with Ben. I think his is 19 foot. That's a good boat. And I run a friend of mine's a huge craft, 19 foot. Anything else, a little, it's just too big.
So Clyde, how does famous Clyde Shoals, how did that come about?
What was that?
How does famous Clyde Shoals, like with these shirts, how did that come about? Was that your favorite spot at one time?
It was at one time, but you ruined it.
Last question, way in the back.
Hey Clyde, what radio channel are you on?
Radio channel.
VHF.
Radio show.
Radio show. Channel in the boat.
I was on Bob Sims for a while.
No.
No.
Channel.
On your boat.
Channel.
11.
Channel 11?
11?
Thank you.
Yeah, anytime, give me a call, I'm out there. I'm only out 1 or 2 times a week now.
Cool.
Try to make it on this one time.
All right.
Give me a call, I'm down there, you'll know where I am.
Okay, thank you so much, Clyde. I think he's